Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm going to give you some of my favorite books and tell you what I love most about them. So let's get right into it. To give you a little bit about me, I love to read and write. They are my favorite hobbies and they bring me so much peace and joy. So I love sharing my book recommendations with others and just chatting about books in general. I'm going to start out with what I say is my favorite book right now, and it is Happy Place by Emily Henry. If Emily Henry has no fans, I'm not here. I disappeared. Like, I moved something because I absolutely adore everything that she writes. I do not think that she is a bad book. Obviously, I have a least favorite, but her writing is just incredible. The way that she writes banter between characters. I feel like her characters are very complex and there's a duality to them, and I really appreciate that. And obviously, since I talked about Happy Place, I have to talk about her others. People We Meet on Vacation is actually my least favorite Emily Henry book, but that's just because I was in a reading slump at the time of reading it. I plan to reread it this summer. It is currently being turned into a movie. I will not talk your ear off about that. You can go search it up on your own, but still an amazing book. I read Funny Story this summer, and I would like to note that I despise hardback books and they just came out in a paperback, so if that is stopping you from reading it, you're in luck. Something about the way that she just wrote this story, the way that she writes the characters and has them come together is just so beautiful. I also love the way that she sets up her books, the layout of them, the chapters, and just the little things make it so interesting and so different from other books that I've read. I feel like in all of her stories, everything just falls into place, but it's very intentional. I would say Funny Story is my second favorite. Book lovers, I won't say much about this. I did read it at the beach on vacation and I got through it so fast. I loved it. And then beach read. This was the first Emily Henry book I read. I read this book for the first time over 3 years ago, and I am forever thankful for that experience because it truly inspired my love of reading and writing a lot more. So I have Emily Henry to thank for that, but this is an incredible book. I highly recommend it. It was easy to read, but it has some very touching moments that are very near and dear to my heart. I could rave about this book forever, but again, not trying to say too much. So definitely a cute, fun read. Very like polar opposite characters, and she just writes romantic comedy books like no other. I could go on and on. Moving on. I must talk about my favorite trilogy of all time, This Summer I Turned Pretty. If you know me from TikTok, you know this is my book. I am, in fact, Team Conrad. I have always been Team Conrad. I actually have not annotated this book as much as I would like to, but the first book I had a lot to say and think about, and same with the second book. Again, Jenny Han, I love her. She is the queen of book to screen adaptations. So All the Boys I Loved Before, This Summer I Turned Pretty, XO Kitty. She just is incredible in her writing. Seeing it come to life is just something that I love so much, and I highly recommend reading her books and also watching the adaptations of them. I think it's very cool as a reader and as a viewer to spot the differences and kind of compare. You obviously can have your preference of which you like better, but I just love seeing the characters come to life and have us be able to watch them. That is something that is always so exciting for me. These two go hand in hand. Better Than the Movies and Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This book, if you watch romantic comedies, you can just look on the cover, look on the back. It talks about some of the very notable ones. The references that she includes in this book are incredible. The movie quotes, the references, just truly so cute. I could reread this book 1,000 times and still find new quotes that I love. Amazing. So obviously I read Better Than the Movies first, so when this came out I had high expectations, and let me say it did not fail. It exceeded them. It's so beautifully written. There's romance, there's tragedy, it has it all. Liz and Wes, the book characters, they forever have a special place in my heart, as do all of the chapter openings that start with a quote from a movie. If I can say this about a hardcover book, that's saying a lot. I'm kidding. I have personal beef with hardcover books. This book, amazing. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I read this about a year ago, I want to say. It was so cute. It is very much a summer romance, and it has friends to lovers, kind of like second chance romance. I just think that you should give it a chance. I think this might be my first Carly Fortune book, but I definitely do not want it to be my last. After reading this, I loved it. I was obsessed. I have to talk about Normal People. Okay, listen, I don't want to hear it. I did not watch Normal People. I only read the book. As much as I want to, for now, I am sticking to this. This book is so complex and so heartbreaking and so realistic as to what happens in life, as to how most stories actually end. I just think that this is one of my books that gives me a good break from my romantic comedies that are all happy and sunshine and rainbows, and it truly gives you a look into how sometimes things actually go. It's a book that I keep coming back to. I have reread it multiple times. I have searched for quotes that have helped me through a lot, so I love this book. I will forever keep it somewhere on my shelf. And for anybody going through a hard time or is struggling to find the words, I think that this is a great book to give you some insight. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is the first and only book I've read by her, but I'm so excited because I have a couple books on my TBR that I am dying to read by her. So I am definitely going to purchase some more. Drop down your recommendations below. The female character, Brianna, she is my queen. She's so powerful and she is just very inspiring. I loved hearing her internal thoughts. Jacob, the male character, the author did a phenomenal job writing this book. It has a lot of medical terminology in it, and as somebody who is not in the medical field and profession, it was not only interesting to read the character's story, but to also gain insight and knowledge into that side of something that I'm not familiar with. This focused a lot on her career, on her relationships with her family, and also, of course, her relationship with somebody else. This book was so easy to get through. It looks lengthy. This book is just under 400 pages and it looks like it would be hard to get through, but I promise you it is not. I was flying through this. This is the last book I'm going to talk about for now. I just tried to pick a couple of my favorites. I'm currently reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, as you can probably see back there, and I'm also reading The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. And hopefully when my spring semester wraps up, I will have a summer full of reading and writing. So please drop down your recommendations below. I am definitely into kind of like the light, fluffy romance, anything that will give you a good laugh or give you insight into life as well. And lastly is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Amazing. I actually found this book at a thrift store for like $2 or $3 and I was like, hello? It was on my TBR before that, but when I saw it, I was like, this is a sign, I have to grab it. And the second that I got this, I started flying through the pages. I love how it goes through each one, and it's the story, and there's also another perspective of the woman writing this. Again, this does look like a big book. It is slightly under 400 pages, but it was so amazing, and I just think that Taylor Jenkins Reid is a phenomenal author, and I really hope to read some of her other works soon. I know some of this might have been quite repetitive, especially pertaining to certain authors, but those are just the ones that I gravitate towards and some of the works that really resonate with who I am. Remember that reading and writing is a form of personal expression and a creative outlet that is very specific to you. So if you are interested in reading some of these books, I really hope that that struck some inspiration for you. And if not, I hope that you could maybe give me some insight into the books that you like to read and maybe inspire me to read some new ones. I love books and I wish I had more time to read them, so that is one of my goals for this year. If you'd like to see more book related content, please let me know down in the comment section and I will definitely do that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys!